Hey everyone, it's Ben here from the Bonehead Podcast, and welcome to episode 2 of Roster Rumble, the participation competition where you send in Blood Bowl rosters to us. Based on our specifications, we pick some of our favourites, and using the science known as TheoryBowl, we argue about who we think would win. We've got some great rosters for you today, and to that end, today's host, co-host and opponent, today's co-opponent is Bloodtithe Ben.
Hello, Ben.
How you doing, man? You okay?
Yep, very good, very good. Looking forward to another episode of this.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the last one. So.
Good. Should be a good rumble this time. Okay, wicked. So before we get started, let's go over how we're going to do this. We are each going to take a turn to talk through our list of the day, who sent it in, what the team is, what it does, what the skills are, what the strategy is, and when we're done, we're going to flip for the kick. After that, it's all TheoryBowl until a winner is decided. If, however, neither of us can convince the other of a clear winner, we are prepared for such an event. We have sought the services of a game referee, who's also looked over the lists that we've chosen and picked a tiebreaker. They won't be joining us live on the air, but we have got them to record a little message for us if we need to go to the referee to sort out a tie. And today's game referee is going to be Ian Warhanam. Okay, all sorted. So, Ben, feeling good about your list?
Honestly, yeah. It'll be a tough one to beat, I think.
I am afraid to say that I agree with you on this one. I think it's going to be a tough battle. Right, in that case, let's go to the lists. So first up, we are going to look at Ben's choice for the episode. Ben, what have you got for us?
I've got a submission from Dave Dragon, which is a pro-elf team starring Asperon Thorn, and we had a couple of these submitted because I think it's kind of I think we've spoken about Asperon Thorn and his presence in Sevens a few times, and this is just mean. Should we go through it?
He is such good value, Asperon Thorn, and you're right. We did have a couple of lists. One was Dark Elf by Ian Triplo, and then we've got this bad boy from Dave Dragon. Yeah. So yeah, Ben, talk us through the list. What are you running?
Okay, so obviously you've got the man himself, Asperon Thorn. He's 160k.
Which is a bargain.
Yeah, so cheap. Bearing in mind he's an elf, so he's 6'3", 4'8". Kind of high elf stats.
Yeah.
With his skills, he comes with Loner, obviously, and then he's got Hail Mary Pass, Kickoff Return, Pass, Safe Throw, and Sure Hands, all for 160.
Oh, I love this. I love this guy. Look at this. So the price of what? War Dancer is 120, and then the next most expensive piece is 100 for a Dark Elf and High Elf and Pro Elf. But basically, like a Blitzer or a Catcher piece is 100k. For 60k more, you get Sure Hands, Pass, Safe Throw, Kickoff Return, Hail Mary Pass. This guy is a beast.
Yeah, and even consider him to like a high elf thrower, which I mean he's the same stats with. He comes with the high elf thrower skills.
He's got safe
throw and pass.
Yep.
And then you chuck on Sure Hands, Kickoff Return, and then kind of a me Hail Mary Pass on there, but it can pay off.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
So who's supporting him?
He's gone straight up there with 4 catchers, 4 pro elf catchers. 2 of them have dodge, and yeah, that's just mean. And he's just got a couple of linemen to fill the gaps. But one of the linemen does have wrestle, so he's got a little bit of
defense. Yeah, I like it. So the build for this is the Star 7s build, which is 700k, at least 1 star player, and at least 7 players, including your star players. So other than that, that is like literally the list. So he has gone straight with 4 positionals, all of them the same, all catch, nerves of steel, 8 movement. Like you said, 2 with dodge, and then 2 run-of-your-mill linemen, 1 with wrestle. Ben, are you sad that one of these guys don't have kick?
Kind of, yeah. I always take kick. I've probably taken kick over wrestle, but I think wrestle's going to pay off.
I think I would as well, but that is a heck of a list. So, wobble ratings, which are based on the skills and average stats. This team has got the most ridiculous score I've ever seen. It's a throw rating of 51.43, which I mean, I wrote the code for this, and I didn't know I could go into the 50s. So it's just got all the skills there. This is just going to be an incredible throwing defense. We've got a flat 30 for POW, toughness rating of 26. which I think is fair, given that the only 8 armor is your star player. Everybody else is armor 7. Speed 35.7. Not surprised, given that you've got 4 players going 8, with an overall of 35.8. No rerolls. It's 7s, obviously. 2 fan factor. That is a really tasty list. That would be great fun in a tournament. I think that's a power build.
Yeah, I'm really impressed it fits into 700. Like, it's just crazy how you can get 4 amazing players in the Pro Elf catchers with such an amazing star. Like, this is a bargain. So
this is a really interesting list. Okay, talking of really interesting lists, we've got the Turtle Bay to Killers here from Stephen Knowles. Stephen hasn't been on the podcast, but I think I've played a couple of games with him on the YouTube channel. We played a game of 7s, and also he wrote one of the 7s packs we spoke about on the podcast a few episodes ago, actually. Great guy. It's a very great guy, Stephen. He's actually taking part in Lockdown Bowl at the moment, and he's running the Ethereal team.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really cool. So Stephen is he's one of us. So the Turtle Bay to Killers is a Lizardman team, but it is a skink only build with a Croxagore. So we've got a Croxagore, we've got 2 Chameleon Skinks, and 3 Lizardman Skink dudes to go with it. So not bad, not a lot of strength there. And the cool thing about this list is he's gone for the 2 skink star players, Drull and Dribl. So Drull is Loner, Sidestep, Dodge, Stab, and Stunty. So we've got a Stab, Sidestep guy. And Dribl is Loner, Sidestep, Dodge, Dirty Player, and Sneaky Git. So we've got 5 movement 8 players. Now, I think I've put the strength and agility on there the wrong way around. They're not actually... They're not strength 3 skinks. That's the other way around. So they're edge 3, strength 2. And then you've got a Crocs. And with the skills that we allowed for this, we've got Break Tackle on the Croxagore, which in 7s is huge to keep that piece moving. Yeah. And Sure Feet on a skink, because I think it was just 2 normal skills. And I'm not sure else you could put on here. Or maybe, no, actually, you know what? I'm not sure if there were stacking rules about skills. Could have been interesting to go, I don't know, Break Tackle, Guard on the Crocs. I don't know, maybe Sure Feet will be more appropriate. So, not the powerhouse of the Pro Elf team, but a really interesting build with 8 players and a bunch of movement and dodge and stunty. So these guys can absolutely fly around, and we've seen it in 7s. It's not quite Street Bowl, but you need to be able to dodge through the gaps when they appear.
Yeah, definitely.
So a throw rating of literally 20 less than your team at 31.43. We got a power rating of 34.29, toughness of 31, and a speed, look at that, 43.57.
Yeah, that's good.
With an overall team rating of 35.09. So you get us on the throw, literally by exactly 20 points. We've got you on the POW there, Ben, with 34 against 30. I guess
still
that's...
in the Crocs, yeah.
Yeah, Croxagore, Mighty Blow. The tough, you are down at 26. We are up at 31 again. Croxagore and numbers, probably. Having that extra player is going to help. And we get the edge on speed, but the overall team rating goes to you at 35.8 against 35.09. So it's real tight on the overall, and I think we've got pretty clean, pretty clearly defined strategies for both of our teams there.
Yeah, and big props to this one. I love the theme of the skink team. I think it's a really cool idea.
Hey, I'm a big fan of skinks. Big fan of skink teams. Run them on the stream as well. I don't know if there are any good models that you can use for Drull and Dribl yet. There's a good model for Hemlock, but I don't know if there's a good model out yet for Drull or Dribl. So let's hope Games Workshop can pull it together and get some models out. I just want to add that the Turtle Bay to Killers do have an Apothecary, so hopefully they can keep some of their star players, because all of these guys are really interesting pieces. So we've talked through the rosters. We've got a good idea what the teams are built and what they're built to do. So now it is time to flip for the kick. We've got a little dice online thing using Roll20. So that's what we use if we want to sort of talk through some situations that happen in the game. And if we want to say, you know what, roll for that. Let's see if this would work. Let's see how important this... Hey, I don't want to bury the lead, but a stab. Let's see if this stab is going to be effective. we've got an opportunity to roll some dice here. So Ben, we're going to go and we're gonna flip for the roll a d6. We'll roll off for the kick.
All right. So 3 for me.
And it's a 2. So you're playing the Pro Elves. Let's just chuck a little bit of weather roll in there. It's nice weather. Have you got any fan factor? Have you got 2 fan factor on your team?
I think it was 2 fan factor, yeah.
All right, well, then we better roll out the fan factor just in case. So give us 2d6, Ben, and add 2.
All right, that's 5 with 2 is 7.
And these guys get a 12.
Ooh. Well, the 2 fan factor helped deny the
and help deny the double. That's absolutely true. So if fan factor comes up, if Fane comes up, the Lizards have it. So given that, Ben, would you, as the Asperon Elves, which I think is what we call the team, would you want to kick or receive to start this half for a game of Blood Bowl?
I think they'd want to receive and score as quickly as they can.
I think with movement 8, strength 3, dodge, catch, nerves of steel, Asperon, thorn, scoring should be pretty easy for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would be kicking to you. We'd have the Crocs on there, and I think we'd have to run both of these star players. Stab is useful if we can knock someone down with the Crocs. Dirty player is going to come in handy, and I think we'll I just bench one of the chameleons. I can't see them doing great work. That one less movement is tricky. That said, I was watching a game and also playing a game. Shadowing was very, very, very useful. So we're going to stick the Crocs right in the middle, for example. We'll have Drull and Dribl just back a little bit, and we'll have some Skinks spread across. Nothing too fancy, nothing too powerful. So we'll be kicking to you for the first half. What would your team want to achieve? Like, how would your strategy be to set up?
I think it'll be set up the old Asperon near the back. He's got kick-off return, so I think getting close to the ball isn't really an issue. He'd obviously want to pick it up and throw it, but I think it'll be quite. It wouldn't allow. I think I wouldn't focus too much on getting the first. Getting the. Yeah, it would be getting the first hit when on the receive.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
absolutely.
worry too much about.
I
wouldn't worry too much about that. I think it's mainly getting the catches deep into the lines, and just because whether you got the chameleons and stuff, I think it would be quite a tight mesh to get through.
Yeah, the one chameleon will be kind of like a roadblock. It might be worth with these guys going hard on one edge with four catches, kind of like if you ever seen me play Skaven, the way I use the gutters for the side cage, just like a mob. And this is the first time I think in Sevens. I mean, if you think about it. Normally teams have, movement 6, movement 5, movement 6. These are both teams of 8 movement facing off across each other. Like the blitz, the intermingling of the line is going to be absolutely immediate.
Yeah. So I'll set the lineman up on the line and they could probably punch some Skinks or maybe just try and get away from the Croc score. He's going to be there.
Yeah.
So, I think probably be my setup.
I think a Croc's shield would be there. So it's Sevens, we don't have kick, we don't have anything fancy. It would be a classic roll into the backfield, so probably a safe kick. But for the kickoff, get the ref. That could be extra useful given that we've got one staff player fowler guy on the Lizard team. That could be wicked. So, ball lands your side, few squares away from Asperon. Opening moves, Ben. What would the plan be?
Pick up the ball would be the first move. Be very first. Actually, no, it wouldn't. I don't think it would be. I think it would be move some catches in as deep as they possibly can be and put on the pressure.
So move the catches up. Maybe take a blitz on a Skink on the sides, possibly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I
think I'd try and. Yeah, I think I would try and get that and then go for quite a long pass to the catches, maybe.
Okay, so...
Or maybe I think I'd hang on to the ball for a turn. I'd hang on and wait for you to maybe harass the catch and see who ends up free. So
Asperon's kind of in your... the middle zone of your pitch half. Just out of reach of the Skinks, probably.
Yeah.
And then your catches are moving up alongside. Maybe knocking a Skink down on the way. So you're looking for a turn 2 score here, Ben. Is that fair?
Much, yeah.
Okay, well I think it's only fair that in this situation you get a blitz on a Skink. So take a 2 die against the Skink. Let's see if you can get some attrition on the go. Yeah, see, dodge saves him there. Yeah, so if that's what you achieved in your first turn, not bad. What we'd be looking to do on the Lizardman team is just kind of harass your players to make that, well, I say make that pass harder. It wouldn't make any difference because of Nerves of Steel. So the Skinks would basically tag on to the Elves. We'd have a couple of Skinks go down the pitch looking at harassing or moving towards the ball carrier to really force that. And I think it's really tough. I think the Stab star player would go up next to an Elf, but I think the Crocs would be doing the blitz here. So I think the Crocs takes a blitz, and I don't know, you're looking at your linemen to kind of shield the catches, or are the catches a bit deep and unprotected?
I like to think the 2 dodge catches have gone deep, and then the other one, or other 2, are kind of defending Asperon, with the linemen kind of tanking the Crocs.
Got you. So the Crocs would be able to get a blitz probably on one of your defensive linemen, really, then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've lost the
Probably the one without wrestle, I imagine.
The one without wrestle, yeah. So 2 die block from the Crocs is pretty reasonable. Bad dice there. Oh, no, dodge. Let's take
no dodge on the...
Take a bit of armor, nothing much. So end of the turn, you know, as a bit of a defensive move, the Crocs has had a go. The rest of the Skinks are running interference, which means it's just going to be a dodge away, really, for the Elves. What would you do next?
I think I would... I think maybe I would hand off the ball to one of the catchers that are defending Asperon.
Okay, so a cheeky handoff. Now they've got catch, so...
Yeah, or maybe he just run along and try and throw it. Okay. No, how about this? So imagine the dodge catchers would have got stuck in amongst these Skinks. I'd maybe use one of the other catchers to blitz off one of the Skinks off of the catcher.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and then maybe pass to the catcher so he's free, and then he can run a score.
I'll tell you what, roll the block dice. Let's have 2 dice.
Yeah, let's
have 2 dice. There, okay, saved by dodge again, dodge star push. So dodge is protecting the Skinks there. Still getting in the way, but you've probably got to catch a free by now. If not, you've had to make a cheeky 2+ dodge, nothing much. Is he headed downfield now? Are the catchers headed downfield?
I think Asperon will go past to 1, and then the catchers would head on down.
All right, so
possible to score in 2 turns and 7s with movement 8.
Oh, absolutely.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's only 13 squares, so this is kind of an easy touchdown. So Asperon has got edge for no throw boost skills. So you know it's
aside from pass and safe throw, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but what I mean is no accurate. No strong arm.
No accurate. No.
So it would be a quick pass would be a 2+, a short pass would be a 3+. Roll the pass sequence there, Ben.
Let's see what we would get.
I think it's probably a short pass. Short pass to quick.
I think with a 4 he'd make that.
Absolutely, and then a 2+ catch, and then basically a touchdown.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
we're seeing the 4s again on roll 20. So that would be a turn.
I think even with a Skink in the tackle zone, it would have been a 3, and it would
Hey, you're looking at Nerves of Steel here. Nerves of Steel catch. It's
a
2+. Rerollable catch here. This is going to be an incredibly unstoppable offense. So would you go straight in for the touchdown then?
I would, yeah.
Yep. So straight in for the touchdown, and then you would have to kick to the Skinks. Now you've only got 7 players. Do you deploy more forward? Do you scatter? Do you defend deep? You know, how are you setting up against Skinks?
I'm definitely defending deep. I'm putting minimum players on the line as possible. Probably the 2 linemen with the catcher without dodge. And then the rest will be pretty far back.
Okay.
I've got to take out these movement 8 Skinks, and they're slippery.
So the Skinks just deploy all forward. They don't have the luxury of any kind of ball picker-upper man. So it is probably going to be 2 of the regular Skinks kind of middle zoning it with everybody else straight bang up against the line. And again, a Chameleon in reserve. Chameleons could be really great. Shadowing is really cool, but I don't know. I think they're just very, very, very punchable. So they're deployed. Where are you kicking?
I'd kick deep. I'd risk the quite far kick because you don't have kickoff return. You'd have to waste movement going back to get it.
Yep.
So yeah, I go pretty far back. I'd risk it. Maybe even 3 or 4 squares.
Okay. Right. Well, then let's see 2d6 for the kick. Let's see if it's going to stay on the pitch. Take a 3, yeah, so it stays in bounds. That's going to be a bit of a nuisance for the kick for the Skinks. And then let's see a kickoff, Ben. Ooh.
Pro roll.
So 1d6 for you.
Yep.
3 and then a 4. So it is the lizards getting the benefit. I'm going to roll a d8 here, Ben. And if it's a 1, it's Asperon. If it's a 2, 3, it's the lineman. If it's the rest, it's the catchers.
Yep.
It's a catcher. We'll say it's a vanilla catcher. He's injured. Now, just a bit of a stun. Nothing huge. Bull has a regular bounce. And then it's over to the Skinks. And it's only turn 2 in 7s. So, oh, is it time? Is it time? You've got to have someone on the line. So the Crocs is real tempted for a blitz here. And I think it's going to have to be a big guy blitz. So we're going to take the Bonehead. Bonehead is good. There's going to have to be a go for it. Go for it's good as well. And it's a 2-die. And I'm assuming this is on a lineman. Ben. Yeah.
Well, it could be a catcher, but yeah.
Lineman. So armor 7 for your guys. So the Crocs with Mighty Blow is going to be able to smash through that and knock out an elf.
Yeah, which is quite a big deal.
That is quite a big deal. That's it. You're down to 6 players. The Skinks in the backfield are going to kind of... The ball's really close to my end zone, yeah? Basically.
Yeah.
So if we drop the ball, it's not going to be the end of the world. The Skinks are in a pretty good position. We'll probably send a Skink up to loiter next door to the Croxagore. And probably send the Stabber Skink up as well. Because see if we can't base an elf with the Stab guy. And then see if we can't pick up the ball. Gets the ball. The Skinks move up to kind of midfield. It's not quite cage territory. But they're there. The ball's pretty well defended. And it gives them lots of options to go. How do you defend against a Skink bomb in the middle of the field? So up supported by a Croxagore, and you're down. You're down to 6.
I'm not sure. How would I defend against this? I think. How far has your Skink run up the pitch?
Let's say they're like midfield now. So the Crocs is just on your side of the neutral zone, and the remaining Skinks are kind of clustered midfield. And there's a couple of Skinks near the Crocs. So there's a couple of Skinks literally in scoring range immediately, and the rest of them are just outside scoring range midfield.
Okay, I think I'd mark the ones in scoring range with a couple of players, maybe Asperon. Got to watch out for Drull and Dribl. Don't want to get stabbed.
Yep.
Armor 7 doesn't really hold up against stab. Yeah, I think I'd just try and blitz in to get the Skink with the ball. Just try and tag him at least. I know you've got stunty dodging, but at some point you've got to roll it. Fair roll, right?
All right, go for it. Let's see.
Probably be a 2-die.
Definitely be a 2-die, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Bad dice. So a skull and a both down here. So let's say you did manage to skirt around and get a cheeky block on the ball carrying Skink. I'm assuming that they're both going down, Ben.
I think so. I would assume my wrestle lineman is still tied up with the Croxagore.
Yeah,
I wouldn't risk dodging him out. So yeah.
To get around, I think it's going to have to be a movement 8-piece to get around to the back.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
All right. So let's see some armor for the Skink. Poor defenseless Skink. He's fine. And then your elf is fine as well. So that would go back to the Skinks for turn 3. The ball is loose, but there are Skinks around. The Croxagore is in base contact, so he's going to immediately have a Bonehead block. Reckoning 2 dice, gets a pow, gets the armor, and knocks out a second elf. This Crocs is going to town. We'll say that either Stabby McStabson is in base contact, or he's going to stab blitz on another elf. Not getting anything at all. So nothing at all. So we'll see if we can't pick up the ball again with the Skinks. It is a complete fail. So the ball has been muffed in the middle of the field. There's a couple of elves out. But the ball is loose near some Skaven. Oh, I miss Skaven. Near some Skinks. And it would be back to the elves to try and swoop in and get that turnover.
Yeah, I think I'd just try and swarm it at this point. I might leave a catcher in the backfield just in case. I've obviously 2 players down, so I've only got 5 players to play with.
It is.
I think I would send the other 4 up just to kind of swarm the ball and make it as difficult. Maybe not attempt to pick up, but try and deny you the pickup.
Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. So you got a guy playing safety, and then everybody else is just kind of mobbing around the scrum in the middle where there is a ball, which is going to be real difficult. So what are we looking at now? Probably turn 4 for the Skinks, and it's all going bad?
Perhaps, yeah.
Well, one thing that makes everybody happy is a Bonehead Blitz. He's going to run in, take another elf near the ball carrier. I mean, like you said, you've got elves, so there's probably a couple of guys on the Skinks that are likely to pick up the ball. But a 2-die block takes the push, probably just to free him up, gets the Crocs in there. And the other Skinks just, again, come around. And because we've got the numbers game, kind of just mob up on your elves. So the Crocs is in there now, the Stabber's in there, and the rest of the Skinks are just around about where the elves are. This is getting a bit messy. There's only 2 turns to go. One side is going to have to give here. It's either going to be a dodge, grab, run from one side, I think. What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
Does Nerves still ignore the penalty to picking up the ball?
I think it's just catching and throwing.
Just catching.
Yeah.
So I would probably have to try and clear some Skinks.
Yeah, I think you'd have to make. The thing is, you get a shot at a couple of 1 dice, I think.
Yeah.
But the numbers are not.
I'd say I'd try and just keep on the ball and make some 1-die blocks.
When he attempts to pass, catch, or intercept for Nerves, I did just check.
Cool.
Made sense. So okay, let's see a cheeky 1-die block here, Ben, to free up the ball.
That's not the right die.
That was a 6 and a both down.
Ooh, my wrestle's out because he got taken out by a Croxagore. So yeah.
Right, let's see some armor for the Skink. Skink armor holds. Elf armor does not.
Oh, no.
And stun. So now you are down to actively 4 players. I think in this situation, the Croxagore would have to have another block or blitz to free another elf off. The ball fails a Bonehead. No good there. No good. So let's see if we can't do a bit of dodging. We're going to have to probably dodge to get to the ball. Stunty holds it. And then, 1 tackle zone on the ball, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably reasonable.
Mops does not pick it up, but it's near the end of the half now. So the ball scatters loose. There's still loads of players around. No one's got an easy catch. No one's got an easy pickup. Wherever the ball lands, there's 2 of each of our tackle zones probably on it. Something like that.
Yeah.
You've got a guy stunned, 2 guys out, and 1 guy in the backfield, and 3 just on the ball and on the ball scrum. Now outmatched, now outnumbered.
I reckon I'd just try and deny you the score here.
Yeah.
And I'd try and pick up the ball with Asperon Thorn because he's got sure hands.
He does have sure hands. Just.
So what would you say? 2 tackle zones on the ball?
I reckon it would take a dodge to get to the ball here.
Okay, let's do that.
That's the risky side. That's the risky side.
Yeah, let's say dodging into a tackle zone or into 2 tackle zones.
Into 1 tackle zone with an elf is a 3+. Let's see a 3+ dodge and a 3+ pickup here.
Up to 5, so we even make 2 tackle zones.
Gets the dodge.
And a pickup.
He
gets the pickup.
Straight 6. So Asperon is coming. He's picked up the ball.
Then I'd just try and throw it, I think.
So he's got Hail Mary. Are you just going to drop it to the other end of the pitch?
Yeah.
Not going to try and do a quick pass to one of the catchers with their
nerves. I'm not in scoring range.
I suppose not.
And with Hail Mary pass and safe throw, I only fell on a 1, right?
Okay, go for it. Roll that 1. It's a 2.
It's a 2.
The ball hoons it down the pitch and is out of range now for the Skinks. So I think the only real thing that would happen in the last kind of turn of the game is another Croxagore block.
Try and take out another elf.
Gets the Bonehead. It's a both down. Elf's fine. Let's see if you can't score a 10 to take the Crocs out. That would be huge. It's an 11. All right, injury roll. Does the Crocs take himself out? Just stunned. So that would basically wrap it up for the first half. The Elves have got a 1-0 lead. With Theory bowling this like madmen. So the Elves 1-0 lead, but they would be kicking to the Skinks again.
They would indeed.
Did you have 2 knocked out guys?
I did. Yeah, let's see if they come back.
Let's see.
No.
And yes. So, what's more useful to you, the wrestle guy?
Yes, 100%.
All right, let's say the wrestle guy's back. But you're down a catcher, I think. Okay, that's fine. You got 3 more. You got 3 more catchers and Asperon Thorn and a couple of linemen, one of them with wrestle. Now, are you just deploying 6 wide here? 3x2? What's the plan?
I might just try the same approach where I have some guys deep.
Yeah.
I just know the Skinks that can do that.
Minimal on the line, and then it gives you the counter punch. And when your guys are stronger than the runners, having that safety, having 3 safeties there that can run in and do a 2-die block wherever, whatever, it's really great, really beneficial. That's why the Elf Warrior or the Chaos Warrior makes such a good safety, a good linebacker. It's because he just runs in and crunches anyone who's making a quick break for it. Skinks, the good thing is we've got one in reserve, so by now there's probably at least one skink out. So Chameleons are in. Chameleons are going to be the ball carriers this time with all the other Skinks up front with the Crocs. What's the kick plan?
Deep again. It worked last time.
All right, let's see. Let's see. 2d6. Both over a 4. I reckon it's a kickback. No, gets a 3. So ball stays inbounds again. The 2d6 kick method absolutely paying off for the Elves. And kickoff, Ben. Kickoff table. Pitch invasion. Fantastic. So, do you want to start and just go for the Crocs first? Let's see if the Crocs goes out. He's kind of key. The Crocs is down, right? Armor's it's just stunned, isn't it?
It's just a stun result, yeah.
All right, let's go for stab and stomp.
Does so right. Stomps out as well.
Stomps out, and
I'll just roll some dice.
Yeah,
see how many other players will go.
Another few dice. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah.
So the Crocs is down, and so is the Stabby. No, the Stompy. That's Dribl, I think. Dribl. Drull is Stab. Dribl is Dirty Player and Sneaky Git. Cool. Right. It's got to be the Asperon Thorn roll first of all, because this is the one that really counts. With Fame +1, Asperon's down, and we got what, 3 catchers?
Yep.
No, he's down.
Yeah. Yes.
He's down, so Asperon catches. There you go. So you're left with what, 2 linemen, a catcher.
2 linemen and a catcher.
2 linemen.
2 linemen on the line of scrimmage, so that's still blocked at least.
Right. Let's say the ball lands normal. The Crocs is down, so you're not going to get any massive blitz. And with the other skink down, there's only really 2 skinks that are going to be moving at movement 8. So what's that? Drull, Dribl, Crocs. Skink, Chameleon. So let's say Chameleon would swoop in, grab the ball. They've still got gets the ball. They've still got movement 7. So that leaves me with 5 skink. So we have now got a cage in the middle of the pitch, basically, with skinks. With the Chameleon skink in the middle, Chameleon skink on the edge, Stabby up front, the other skinks there. All right. What's the plan here with your 3 elves? Now, bear in mind, even with movement 7, they're probably not within scoring range.
Yeah, and the thing, movement 8 as well. Like, even though they're down, they still move 4, which is quite big on a Zevon's pitch still. So they might be able to keep in the back line. I can push up. I think I would use the available players I have to just put the pressure on again, and leave the guys down in the back.
Yeah. So
I think maybe 1 blitz, and that's about it.
You're getting a blitz. Are you going to blitz the stab guy?
Yeah, I will actually. Because stab is a big threat.
Yeah, that'll be a 2d6. That's a 2-die block easy on him. Double dodge, pow. He's good to go. He's fine. Yeah. But you've got a guy on the ball carrier now. You've got a guy on the ball carrier, but also a guy in base contact with the stabby guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going to start the next piece of the drive. Rolling a 3, stab not working here. Absolute garbage. So he has a crack at the elf on the ball carrier. Not so much. So what we're going to have to see is we're going to have to see a couple of dodges. So we'll start with...
Here's the thing. Would you try and foul Asperon Thorn?
Well, Asperon's kind of in your backfield at the moment, isn't he?
He is, but he's probably in range of a movement 8 player.
Yeah, but the Fowley guy's on the ground. And that kind of, at this point, being a touchdown down, you kind of want to free up those skinks to equalise, and then you can try and do something.
Yeah, true.
Talking of freeing up skinks, let's take a dodge with the ball carrier. It's a 1 into a 4. So ball carrier manages to skirt around. There's at least 1 other skink in base contact with an elf. Does he dodge away? He dodges away. And you had 3 elves up on the line, so let's have another dodge. He's good. So the skinks, the 4 skinks, skirt off, and we're looking at a side cage, really, in your zone, in your third of the pitch.
Okay.
Stabby is now in base contact with that elf who tried to blitz the ball carrier. And this is where the other Skinks and the Croxigor all kind of stand up. Now, can the Croxigor stand up? The Croxigor stands up. So they were stunned last turn as we moved into midfield. These guys are now standing up, and they themselves have wandered over to the midfield point as well. So we've got a side cage with Skinks, and you've got 2 or 3 elves in the middle of the field. And there's a Croxigor and some more Skinks looming. Your guys can now get up though, however, as well.
Yeah, I think I'd... So at this point I would have a catcher and a couple of linemen in the midfield too.
Yeah.
And then 3 guys down near the line, near my line. I think I just get them up and do the elf defense. Try and keep you a square away. In columns. So I've got 6 players. I can make 3 columns.
So there's going to
be start doing that.
Going to be some dodges there.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Would you want to be blitzing a corner of the cage, or just literally deploy back?
I think I would probably risk a blitz.
All right, go. Let's see a 2-die blitz here on a Skink. He gets the pow. Right, let's roll for armor. Let's see if this is the first solid opportunity. No, Skink hits the ground, bounces back, armor holds. So no huge removal here, but you do now probably have a guy on the ball again. So Crocs is going to have to start with a blitz, runs in, and this is on basically the guy who's threatening the cage and the side. Crocs has got movement 6. He's already wandered 3 squares into the middle of the field. We're going to assume he can run up and get that 2-die block just to push him away. Pow Star, I mean, is it likely to be a catcher with dodge at this point?
Probably not. My 2 catchers were down. The one making the block I probably would have been the lineman.
All right.
He would be down.
That lineman is now crippled and casualtied.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this. So that frees up the ball carrier, but because of the way you've presented your defense, there's going to be at least a few dodges to get through, right?
Yes. Yeah. There'll be some small columns.
So we must be hitting turn 3 of the second half here. You're down a player who's knocked out. You're down a casualtied line elf. We're down nothing. The Croxigor's in the mix. I think the Skinks just kind of move up. The stab guy bases one of your elves, and we just move the cage up so it's about 4 squares away from your end zone. You're going to get another blitz at the side of the cage, but bear in mind the Crocs is up there chilling out as well, because we need to grind this down and probably not really try and score until turn... No, it's probably about turn 3 now, so we're going to wait out another turn, Ben. So this will be over to you, and your guys are going to get a bit of movement and a blitz again.
I think I take a blitz, but other than that, I think first of all I'm going to move my guys back. In base contact, just 1 square, and keep the strong defense up. So are you moving away from the stabby guy then? Yeah, I'd say I'll be doing 3 dodges. Okay. In total. So I'm just going to roll some dice. And see
we're just looking for the crippling ones now. It's fine. Elves are dodgy. So the Skink cage has moved up. The Croxigor's freed up the ball carrier. They've moved up a bit. The Elves are just falling back in a stall defense, really. And you've taken a blitz. So you're going to take a blitz on a Skink on the side of the cage. Is that right?
I'm actually considering not, because I'm down to 5 players now, and as soon as one goes, that does leave, like, one of the columns only has 1 end, so one of the flanks is probably a bit weaker, so that would probably be the one closest to the sideline. All right. So I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just play the hard defense and just hope you can't break through.
All right. So it's going to be Croxigor time. Croxigor's good. He's going to run in and take the elf closest to him. Let's say it is a guy with dodge, because those 2 guys are still kicking around. It's just a push. It just pushes him away. That should create a reasonable running lane, though, if you've only got 5 guys. And I reckon the Skinks just try and force the touchdown here. Probably going to have to make a dodge somewhere. Yeah, that's 6. Fine. And maybe a second one to get through. Yeah, so we'll say they score maybe turn 4 of that second half. So the Elves are going to get the ball back with 2 turns. So you've got a knocked out guy, Ben. Let's see if he comes back. Yeah. No. He does not. So we're sitting at 1-1 here. 2 turns to go, basically, with Asperon Thorn. 3 3 catchers now?
Yeah, 3 catchers, one's knocked out, and it was the rest were linemen.
That's right.
Casualty, I believe.
Catchers out, and a dude is down. So, it would be a spread defense here with the Croxagore in the backfield for these Skinks. So with 6 guys, because we can get 6 guys on the pitch, you can cover the entire width of your line of scrimmage. So Skinks all across the board, and the Croxagore in the middle field, in the middle of our zone as a safety.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 5 players. I'm assuming Asperon Thorn is hanging back.
I'd probably put him a couple of squares behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But everyone else straight on the top.
Straight on the top. So it would be... There's no mucking around here. It's the kick to the sweet spot. Let's not take any chances, and we'll have a kickoff. It's a charge. And a charge is something that I don't think there's much point in doing here.
What does it allow again? Is that the one where you can move 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah, 0, 1, 2, or 3. I think maybe just 1 square closer. It doesn't massively matter because of your movement 8 and our movement 8. But what it does do is that would move the point of impact further away. So that would make the point of impact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares away from the end zone. So yeah, I think a cheeky charge 2 squares up still gives the Crocs plenty of scope for movement into backfield. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Let's say it's a decent kick. Yeah, average squares. So, looking at your turn 5 here, basically. And you've got Asperon. 3 catches and a lineman.
Yeah.
Sounds too easy.
I think I'll do a repeat of the first turn, really. Just try and bomb it.
So, blitzing through with the catches, or just running the catches up just before the skink line?
I'd run up just before. So it'll probably be still within 8 squares to the end.
Well, no, because you move the Skinks up. Let's move the Skinks a couple of squares up to make sure that point of contact is too far for a 1 turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 without a go for it.
Well, that's a tricky situation because the plan was originally to have 1 go up and kind of blitz through to be there and annoying, and have the other one kind of away, so he's not in the tackle zone, so you have to make a choice. But
I think with the amount of Skinks that are here, there's really you can't not have a vulnerability. So basically, if you were to blitz 1 skink out, you would end up with an open square that you could run a couple of guys through. It's just about whether you want which side and how quick you want to do things.
Yeah, I'd use the other lineman to blitz 1 side.
Go for it. Let's see these dice. Let's see if we get these dice hot.
Where you've moved closer, it's a lot easier in range now, so I can kind of get a good angle.
That is a very good point.
So I take a push.
Yeah, push would still push out of the way, so you had a running lane, basically.
Yeah. Then I'd run a catcher's round.
So catches through the hole onto the other side. So there's 2 catches in the backfield.
I keep 1 behind. So a lineman did the blitz, 2 catches in the backfield, 1 behind guard Asperon, who's going to pick up the ball. Okay,
Asperon. Let's see. It's anything but 2 ones. Yeah.
He's got it.
So Asperon's got the ball. You've got 2 catches in the backfield. Is Asperon going to keep it this turn with a catcher defending him, or is he going to go for the pass to one of the catchers now, knowing that there's going to be at least 1 Croxagore blitz?
He is going to keep it.
Yeah, he's going to keep
it. Because he can make the pass quite reliably.
He can, but he is going to get blitzed by Skinks.
Yes.
Which is...
He can tank it.
He can probably tank a 1-die skink blitz. I think he probably can. Now, I'm being gracious with the 1-die because there's a little bit of numbers advantage. I think it's fair to say that the Skinks could get 1 assist on this block. But that's only
the catches alone.
Wow, yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. You've got 2 catches in the backfield. The Crocs, let's see if the Crocs can move. He's just going to tag 1. It's not going to do anything apart from force a dodge roll. Another skink, definitely a chameleon, tags the other catcher. And then the 5 skinks left basically just mob that other catcher and go for a 1-die block on Asperon. What do you reckon? 1-die block, or would you bring the stab guy in for a go?
I think the stab guy's a good shout because I would have another catcher there who might be able to take up another tackle zone.
I think you're right. So straight in for the stab.
Oh, no.
He breaks the arm on 11 and stuns him. So the ball comes loose at this point because Asperon has been stabbed in the side by Drull. That is cool. That is dramatic. I don't think there's any chance the Skinks are recovering this ball, but this is going to force, basically, your catcher to do some magic work because there's still opportunity here for catcher to catch a touchdown.
Yeah. Should we say the ball scatters 1 to 4, not in one of your tackle zones, 5 to 8 in one of your tackle zones?
Go for it.
What the catch roll would be.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay, so it's not in one of your tackle zones, so it'll make the pickup easier for the catcher.
Absolutely. So let's see a catcher dodge.
Yes, so the catcher that's free will have to do the dodge.
Dodge gets it. Does he get the ball? Picks up the ball. And
need move in close range. I'd say probably short pass range, not quite quick pass.
Yeah, +0, 3+ pass. 3+ pass here to the catcher, I assume.
Oh no!
Muffs the throw. So before any of that happens, a Skink gets an opportunity at an interception. He doesn't. So your guy drops the ball and next door to the catcher, and it's going to be basically one turn away here. Let's see if a Skink can pick up the ball. I don't think we can score, although everyone's midfield. Skink would get the ball. I don't think there would be enough time now to score the touchdown. I think that was there. I don't think the Skinks would have time to score.
Maybe I was imagining it at that point with Asperon Thorn.
Yeah,
he would have been 2, maybe 3 squares away, in the midfield. So he would be in. Let's say it was a Skink who tagged him.
Yeah,
I reckon he would be in scoring range if he can make 2 go for it.
Let's say there's a handoff at least.
Okay.
Let's take the handoff.
Yep.
And then we'll take 2 go for it for the touchdown.
There's one. And there's another. Yeah. That's how they do it.
So Drull jumps in, stabs Asperon, ball goes out, the catcher makes a valiant play, muffs the throw, a Skink basically knocks it out of his hand, another Skink picks it up, shovels it to probably Drull, who Drull then just runs it in for the game-winning touchdown?
Yeah.
Well, I was not expecting any of that. That was quite entertaining. How do you feel about that?
I think it's good. I think having these dice rolls really does. I wouldn't have pictured that, but then when you start rolling dice, actually, yeah, no, that's Blood Bowl, isn't it?
That is.
Sometimes the dice don't work.
That is so Blood Bowl. Now, as for strengths and weaknesses of this team, of these teams, yes, the Skinks had significantly less ball handling and scoring skill, but there's so much movement. And they've got the reserves, they've got a cheeky stab, and they've got the crocs to do removal. It really seemed to be a case of actually the Skinks making opportunities by causing you to have less guys to do things with.
Yeah, and I think perhaps I would have been, in hindsight, more aggressive with the Elves because I do have that big strength advantage.
It's a huge strength advantage.
Yeah, maybe I should have just been punching, but I figured with just in my mind having 4 catchers, normally you play that.
Yeah.
Not very bashy, but elf catchers are still strength 3, aren't they? So.
And when there is a stabber around and a Croxagore, you kind of got to be careful of Asperon Thorn.
Yeah.
With your 1 star. As soon as 1 elf goes, and 1 elf always goes, Ben, you were a high elf coach for a season.
Yep.
They've got armor 8, and you know that at least 1 elf always goes. You're going to be running with 6 players in 7s, and you're going to want to keep Asperon safe, which means you're kind of playing aggressively with only five elves. And when you're up against a Croxagore and a bunch of movement 8 guys, that strength advantage, it gets kind of balanced out.
Yeah, definitely. You do pay for that edge 4, so it does really hurt when one disappears.
You do pay for that edge 4. Okay, cool. That wraps it up for round 2. I was expecting that to end up with the Elves just having an absolute field day, but yeah, we rolled some of the dice to see at some of the most dramatic pinch points to see if it would be just to see what Nuffle thought of the situation, and Nuffle favours the twin star players in that match. So that is a big congratulations to Steve and Knowles with the Turtle Bay Killers, because they snuck out with a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, well done. That was good.
Ben, thank you ever so much for being my co-opponent on this episode, and for role-playing that game out. I do like the idea of us actually getting some Roll20 on and seeing how these lists play out in the future as well. But just have to see. Right, great. Ben, thanks very much for joining me, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Let us know what you think of the format of the show. Let us know what you think we can do better. And we will see you again in a few weeks with some more lists. There's still time to get your lists in. We're looking at Star 7, 700k, at least 7 players, including at least 1 star player. There's a couple of skill things. Check out any one of our social media pages. You can find the rules. And I think on boneheadpodcast.com as well. Drop us in your lists because we've still got a couple more episodes of this format before we move on to our next one. So yeah, brilliant. Ben, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
And good night.